do is, if you guys are willing to indulge me, I'm going to get you to count off into groups of 30, because I feel like for a lot of people that number goes by really fast, and I think it would be valuable for people to see what 30 people looks like. So if everyone's okay with that,
30 people over here?
we're just going to split up into some small groups.
4,
Not going far.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, here we go.
So I talked to a couple of media people today.
7.
And the thing that I found was really hard was people saying, well, did you have a relationship with Saloni? Unfortunately, I did not. I wish I had. What I have is a relationship with this chunk of Florida, and it's not a good one. And that is why I organized this. Because this was predicted. This was predicted by so many people, so many times. We have been saying that intersection is going to kill somebody for years, and now it has killed somebody. We predicted that that bike lane was going to kill somebody. In 2019, it killed somebody. We predicted that the rebuild of Elgin Street and the Sharrows in front of the police station were going to kill somebody, and we got lucky because they got away with life-changing injuries. And I don't know about you, but I am damn tired of having to show a corpse to get anything fixed in this city.
Here, here. Here, here.
I'm damn tired of having to wait till somebody dies and then get together and come out here and make the city look bad until they fix it. And I am damn tired of them coming out then and doing the quickest, dirtiest, cheapest fix they feel like they can get away with to make us shut up. This intersection should have been fixed a long time ago. It's very much down to the council members past and present that it's getting fixed now. I'm not hacking on them, but we all know it should have been done a long time ago. And I know that it was delayed because there were jurisdictional issues, and I get that. But I'm also going to draw all your attention to those bollards at the entrance to this plaza. I would probably be a little less angry if I was not staring at evidence that when they see a safety concern that might risk people they care about, this city can act with urgency and quickness and put in really good safety infrastructure. And absolutely, City Hall should be safe. The councilors should be safe. The staff should be safe. Everybody who comes here should be safe. And Saloni should have been safe too, and she was not worth less than those people, and I don't think any of them would have said she was. And yet, we treat pedestrians, cyclists, and everybody on these streets, because those 30 people, the other thing that I think a lot of people don't necessarily know is, again, pretty consistently, it's first passengers, mostly passengers, then drivers, then pedestrians, then cyclists, then motorcyclists, which is the numbers thing. But it's mostly passengers and drivers. And I think one of the things we need to start doing in this city is recognizing, and we do recognize it informally, but we need to start building coalitions that recognize it is not the cyclists against the pedestrians. It is not the people on scooters against the cyclists. It's not us against the drivers. And I'm going to say, I used to work in police towing. I can't even be that mad at that driver, because when you work in police towing, you get to meet a lot of people the day after they killed somebody. And it's bad. But it's not us against the drivers. It's not even us against the city. It is all of us against that number 30. It is all of us against 30 people a year dead. And I feel like we need to act like that, like it is all of us against that number. Because in theory, Ottawa has adopted Vision Zero. And in practice, they say, well, we're gonna do it the Ottawa way. We have to consult with stakeholders. And the BIA or the residents say, well, we would really prefer to keep all the parking spaces. And the city says, yeah, that's really important. We'll put that in line. And the commuters some of them, not all of them, some of them. And some of the more far-flung councillors sometimes, not all of them, some of them, say, well, it's really important that people be able to efficiently get out of the city and onto the Queensway. And the city says, yeah, that's really important, we'll put that in the plan. And the cycling advocates and the pedestrian advocates and the road safety advocates say, that's a lot of conflict spots and somebody's going to get killed. And the city says, have you considered being perfect at all times and wearing high vis? And then somebody gets killed. And then everybody makes a lot of statements and we get sort of, kind of, a fix. And it's not usually the good fix because it's done in a hurry. And I am really tired of that cycle. I am so tired of that cycle. It is heartbreaking, it is wrong. It makes me unbelievably angry and sad that this is what we have to do to get a damn intersection fixed. Do we really have to lose somebody, and do we really have to come out here and yell about it to get an obvious danger dealt with that is right by City Hall? I genuinely think when we get that rebuild done, we should rename this block of Laurier after Saloni. Because I think that everybody in that building who works for traffic safety, everybody in the city who works for traffic safety, on the way into work should have to look at what they did. And maybe that's not fair, but I am not feeling very fair right now. What I'm feeling is heartbroken. Because a 27-year-old woman with her whole life ahead of her, who was so excited about getting her permanent residency, who's so excited about being able to help her mother, is gone. And now her mother is trying to get a visa to come over here to bury her daughter. And if that doesn't break your heart, you don't have one. And I don't see anyone here who doesn't have a heart. And that's all I've got. So what we're going to do now is Kat McKenney, because they were the person who first made the space at City Hall for the ghost bikes. Kat is going to take the shoes over, take Solani's shoes over and put them there. And Ariel Troster's going to say a few words. Jeff Leeper's going to say a few words. I know there are friends and co-workers of Saloni's here. If any of you would like to talk about her, we would love that because we sadly didn't know her. And we will absolutely hand you the mic. But for now, I'm going to hand off to Ariel. And I know there are several other councillors here. I don't know all of you offhand because I'm kind of short-sighted. But thank you all for being here. Thank you every single person who's here. But also, I would rather be seeing you guys for any other reason. We've got to stop meeting this way.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ariel Troster. I'm the city councillor for Somerset Ward, and I remember coming in 2019 when one of these ghost bikes was installed at City Hall after somebody was killed in the bike lane just behind us. And we knew this was a murder intersection then, and we've known it the whole time. And when I was elected in 2022, one of my first questions to transfer station staff was, when are we going to fix it? And I was told it's in the plans, it's going to happen in 2023. And then they came to me and they said, Councillor, we don't have the funding, we're going to have to bump it by a year. And then last year they told me, Councillor, there's a jurisdictional argument because the province owns some of the land and the federal government owns some of the land, and that delayed the project by a whole other year. And I keep thinking, what if this work had been done in a timely fashion? What if that intersection was fixed by now? Would Saloni be alive? Because we know that what stops pedestrians and cyclists from being killed is not a high-vis vest, it's not a helmet, even though I wear a helmet, it's better road design. Because we all make mistakes, but mistakes don't have to be fatal. This is science, we know how to do this. And it's, better road design, it protects us. And it protects me when I am driving, because God forbid, I don't want to hit someone. Everybody wants to make it home at the end of the day. And it's so frustrating because this should have been done before I was even elected. The city did not commit to Vision Zero. It committed to a road safety action plan where it said we're going to reduce pedestrian deaths to a certain level, not eliminate them completely. And that is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hey.
the number they think's okay?
Yeah, what is the acceptable number of deaths? No death is acceptable because of bad infrastructure. Oh, they were saying 80%. So it's like, who are we going to sacrifice and why? And it's so frustrating to me, one of the lone voices on council, along with some of the folks that are here, who say, look, when we starve our city of resources, when we keep taxes the lowest they could possibly be, then you have to wait in the queue to fix a dangerous intersection. And you have to wait until it's your turn. And we know when something is dangerous, it needs to be fixed right away, no delay. We know the top 10 most dangerous intersections in the city. With the right funding, we could fix them in a year. It's possible. It's about political will. And right now, we need political will at all levels of government to make sure this doesn't happen again. And it's not lost on me that the last time that cycling advocates gathered here was because the Ford government was pushing through its absolutely terrible bill to rip up bike lanes across the province. He hasn't really paid attention to Ottawa yet, but he's still trying to do it in Toronto. Known safety measures that keep people safe are being politicized for no reason. So there's no war on cars. We're just trying to save lives. We all have the right to get around. And then the other time that we all gathered together was at the corner of Rochester and Gladstone after there was a horrible accident in 2023 where 20 years before somebody had died in the exact same accident at the exact same intersection. And it took one catastrophic injury and one death to accelerate the process for Gladstone bike lanes, which is finally happening very soon. But it shouldn't take a death, it shouldn't take a tragedy to do what's right and to make our streets safe. So I want to thank all of Saloni's friends and co-workers who came here today. I know you all work right beside City Hall and we all cross the same intersections together. We all need to cross the street. We all need to be safe. And my pledge to you is I will make sure that this work gets done. The irony of it all is that I got an email last Friday saying they were about to start the work, that we finally got the green light. And it's just, that makes it even more sad that this happened just a few days later. So thank you to everyone who's being here. Thank you to everyone who's here. I want to thank MPP McKenney, Councillor Lane Johnson, Glenn Gower, Jeff Leeper, and Sean Devine for being here. Some of them drove in from the suburbs because they're also dealing with road violence in their communities, and especially in some of these older inner urban communities where they have no sidewalks. Can you imagine? They used to build communities with no sidewalks. So we need road safety everywhere. We need pedestrians and cyclists to be safe everywhere. And this is especially personal to me because I have a 13-year-old daughter. She's at the age where she's starting to be independent. But I couldn't let her bike to camp herself this morning because the road wasn't safe. I had to go with her. And she's old enough that she should be able to go herself. So thank you everyone for being here. We need to do so much better. Vision Zero means no deaths due to road violence. None. The appropriate goal is zero. Thank you. Okay, now I'd like to pass the mic to Councillor Jeff Leeper from Kitchissippi Ward.
Thank you very much, Councillor Troster, and thank you very much for inviting me to say a few words this afternoon, Lana. I think we need a change in the direction of this city in order to prevent the kinds of deaths that we saw. I looked up some statistics. In 2024, there were 218 elevator accidents in Ottawa. And of those 218 elevator accidents, 10 people died. And what we're told about these elevator accidents is that it's too costly to fix the design of the elevator. It is the responsibility of the people who are riding in the elevators to ride those safely. Hang on a second, I'm getting a text. Not elevators. Pedestrian deaths, road deaths. There were 218 collisions between pedestrians and cars. 10 of those people died. If we were talking about elevator accidents, we'd fix it. There would be a royal commission. People would say this is unacceptable. 218 people in elevator accidents? I ride the elevator every day. I don't want to be one of those stats. But instead, it's pedestrian deaths. And each one of those pedestrian deaths is a brother, a mother, a sister, a cousin, a friend co-worker, thank you for being here. It's not acceptable. But there's something about the fact that it's accidents between cars and pedestrians, cars and cyclists, cars and scooter riders that leads us to ignore those deaths and those catastrophic injuries in a way that we just wouldn't if it was elevators. We'd fix it. Well, it's time to fix these as well. I am dismayed at some of the emails that come through my desk. We have infrastructure that's going to go in that is going to make people safer. And people are like, you're going to take away a turn lane. You're going to take away parking. I am very supportive of pedestrian and cycling safety, but not at that cost. Well, as a city, we have to start bearing that cost because the losses are unacceptable.
We're here.
The change starts here. I was at an event this week in Toronto. I had a Vision Zero presentation. They're spending millions of dollars to reconfigure intersections fast. They're spending dollars to create the missing links for sidewalks fast. Not us. Well, folks, it's time we started doing it fast. Now. Because it is no longer acceptable. I think I'm handing it over to my friend Catherine McKenney.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Ariel. I'm not going to thank people for being here today. You know, there is no word in our dictionary for a mom who has lost a child. Doesn't exist. There are words when we lose a parent, when we lose a spouse, but there is no word when you lose a child. So what's happened here in this city and what continues to happen is beyond our language. People's lives have been ripped apart. And they've been ripped apart because this province, this premier that we have, doesn't care about cyclists or pedestrians. And this city also does not care about pedestrians or cyclists. Back in 2014, when Councillor Leeper and I were first elected, shortly after we gathered here, same type of gathering, a young woman on our new bike lane that had not been built properly was crushed by a truck. And we came together and we said, we need, in the city of Ottawa, a Vision Zero policy. We need to say no road death. Whether you are a driver, a passenger, a cyclist, a pedestrian, a motorcyclist, on a scooter, in a wheelchair, not one is acceptable. You know what the city came back with? Jim Watson, you know what he came back with? 80% are okay. So this death actually fits into the City of Ottawa's policy.
Negligence.
Shameful. Road Safety Action Plan means that we are okay with a certain number of deaths in this city because of road violence. Anybody here? Any one person okay to give up a family member? Come on, raise your hand. One, come on. Well, we got to give up someone, because that's what we're okay with in the City of Ottawa. We are okay with giving up certain number of road deaths. Well, I will say to you, I am pissed off. I do not want to be here. I am not coming back until this city and this province have agreed that we all deserve to get home at night. Until this province and this city are not okay with any one of you or any one of your family members or friends being crushed to death or slammed into by a vehicle. Because, as the councillor mentioned, we can change it. It's road design. When I am driving my car, I deserve to make a small mistake and not kill anyone. I do. When I am walking, I deserve to make a mistake and not be killed.
Hear, hear.
I deserve, when I'm on my bike, to make a mistake and get home to my wife and my child. We all deserve that. And today we are saying, no, no. There's a certain number where we are okay giving it up. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not coming back. I don't know what we're doing wrong, but we're doing something wrong because we've been here since 2014 begging the province, the city to do something different, and it's not changing. We have to think about what we are doing wrong because 30 people next year are going to lose their lives and their parents don't have a word for it. I just don't know what else to say. It's kind of over, really, until we do something different. Thank you.
I don't know how to follow that because I'm trying not to cry. So there are people here who knew Saloni. So what's going to happen now is Kat McKinney is going to take the shoes that we created and put them with the ghost bikes. And I'm told that Saloni's friends brought a pair of her shoes. So they're going to go there too if somebody wants to take them over. And there are people here with flowers if they want to join Kat and do that. And I think there was somebody who was going to come up and say a few words about Saloni. And I also want to say, as I said, her mother, her single mother in India, is trying to get a visa and a plane ticket, not to visit her daughter, to bury her. And there is, because nobody's prepared for this stuff, there is a GoFundMe. And if you're able to support that, I think that would go a little way towards letting her mother know how sorry we are that we didn't take better care of her. So, I don't know if, I'm sorry, sir, I forgot your name, but you wanted to come up and say a few words? Do you want to tell us about Saloni? We'll do the shoes, we'll do the flowers while you talk. And thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here and being sensitive about this topic. And I'm Patrick, and I used to live with Saloni and her boyfriend, and I've been with them since last 3 years. And Saloni was a fantastic, very young girl. Like, she was working her way towards Canadian citizenship. She just got her permanent residence earlier this year, and she was the head of the family, and she was the sole provider for her mother back in India. And right now, the minute she heard any news about this incident, like, she had to be hospitalized the next day. So she is not in any medical condition to come up here and join us or like do any funeral proceedings here. So we have decided on sending her mortal remains to India now with her family where she belongs. And we come here in support to like gather some funds so we can help her mother back home. Like, and she doesn't have any means to earn herself. She has health conditions already. And thank you for all your support. I don't have any more words. It is just overwhelming for us to see so many people, so many unknown faces that came up, and they are trying to join the cause. And I don't have any more words. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, because we didn't exactly organize this, I don't know if anybody else Any of the counselors want to take the mic? Otherwise, I think let's go over and let's lay some flowers. Let's put the shoes there. And let's take a minute to comfort each other, support each other, and remember that the next time we see each other, we don't want it to be for this. Thank you all for coming.
My friends, I'm from the same community, so I've read before I did any order.
Yeah, no, it's such a good turnout. And like you said, all the other faces, things always good.
And I live in the neighborhood, so yeah, I just feel horrible. Working here, they feel this is cool. So I don't know if any of my friends were
but she'd still like to make some forecast, you know, how much to stop, right? But here's some things you don't have to do.